Here in Germany, the race to succeed Angela Merkel as Chancellor is heating up. The two most likely candidates both say they are willing to lead the Conservatives in this autumn's general election. They've been making their cases to their party colleagues. Armin Laschet had long been viewed as the favorite. He's the leader of Merkel's CDU party and the governor of Germany's most populous state, North Rhine-Westphalia. But some are now urging him to step aside in favor of Markus Söder. He's chief of the CDU's conservative sister party in the state of Bavaria, and his national profile has grown during the pandemic. Let's get straight across to DW's chief political editor, Michaela Kuffner, who is standing by in front of the German parliament. Michaela, Markus Söder and Armin Laschet have said they are both prepared to be the party's chancellor candidate. So how will it be decided who will now enter the race?
Well, essentially what we just saw there is a political showdown with both sides vowing that they want to demonstrate unity. By throwing his hat finally into the ring, Markus Söder, Bavaria's state premier, is signaling readiness, and he's in a combative mode, basically telling the bigger sister party, Angela Merkel's CDU, that it needs to make up its own mind. And we also learned that behind closed doors, he once again pulled out those opinion polls which see Markus Söder and not Armin Laschet, who was seen as natural successor of Angela Merkel, riding high in the opinion polls. So as we stand and speak here, there's a lot of inner party fighting and debate already beginning, and we expect to learn whose name will be on the ticket over the coming days, if not hours.
You mentioned Markus Söder appears to be ahead in opinion polls, but Armin Laschet has been positioning himself as being the most committed of the two to upholding Angela Merkel's legacy. Do you think that that is having an effect on his ratings?
Well, it did initially, because that basically made him the person to succeed Angela Merkel. He was seen as the heir of that brand of stability politics. More recently, he tried to put a bit of distance between Angela Merkel's handling of the corona pandemic, which was heavily criticized, and his own approach, which saw more openings, while Markus Söder, who showed remarkable political instinct, was very fast to then pledge allegiance to Angela Merkel, who he's criticized in the past. He says there's no way one can become chancellor by not being endorsed by Angela Merkel. So clearly there's a fight over her legacy already also going on, and there's an understanding that that political brand of Merkel approval is what could carry the CDU in elections to come.
The elections are coming up in September, and party members are surely impatient for a candidate to be named. How soon do you think we can expect a decision?
I think it will come very fast now. There was a lot of confusion after that press conference I just attended what the actual process will be now. Initially, it was supposed to be the leaders of those two parties, the CDU, Armin Laschet, and Markus Söder of the CSU in Bavaria, basically talking behind closed doors. Instead, we've now seen a very public showdown, and it will now be up to the CDU to make up its mind whether it still backs its own party leader, Armin Laschet, enough and trusts him enough to bounce back from those opinion polls that look pretty bleak at the moment to actually have his name on the ticket. These are very decisive hours, potentially days here in Germany, to learn who will actually run in those elections on the Conservative ticket here.
And we'll, of course, be covering that story for you here on DW News. Our political editor, Michaela Kuffner, thanks so much for your reporting.